Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I want you to stop whatever you're doing for just a second, because every morning, so many of us stand in front of the mirror, counting our new wrinkles, checking if our gray hairs have multiplied, or stressing over our skin. But I'm going to challenge you today. Stop looking for aging in the mirror and start looking at what you leave behind in the toilet. I know it might sound a little crazy, but your gut health actually dictates your biological age far more than your skin does.
So are you actually looking for aging in the wrong place? Well, recent research reveals something incredibly eye-opening. If your gut is in a poor state, your body could be aging internally by more than 10 years compared to your actual age. 10 years! Let that sink in. Today we are going to unpack exactly how this hidden aging happens, and more importantly, how you can completely reverse it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll look at the signs of gut aging, the crisis happening inside, physical approaches to fix it, dietary resets, and finally, the changes consistency brings.
All right, Section 1, Signs of Gut Aging. Let's do a quick self-check.
I want you to treat this as a personal mental self-check. Be brutally honest with your daily habits here. How many of these actually apply to you? Maybe you don't go every day, or actually, maybe you go more than 3 times a day. Is the color kind of blackish? Does it have an unusually strong bad odor? Do you find yourself sitting on the toilet for a long time or feeling like you didn't quite finish? What about bloating right after meals or, unusually smelly gas? And remember, it's not just digestion. Take a look at the bottom of the list. Dull skin, chronic fatigue, and even irritability or mood swings are massive red flags. Count them up right now. If you just counted 3 or more of these 10 signs, your gut needs urgent attention because your internal aging process is silently but rapidly accelerating.
Moving on to Section 2, the crisis inside, basically failing gut mechanics.
So what exactly is happening when we ignore those signs? Well, think of your gut as a massive 9-meter-long root system. It's exactly like a plant. If a plant's roots in the soil are weak or rotting, it really doesn't matter how much expensive spray or polish you put on its leaves, it will wither. Your body is exactly the same. You literally cannot maintain your youth with expensive topical skincare creams and supplements if your primary absorption system, that entire 9-meter intestinal tunnel, is compromised.
Now, to figure out if your roots are actually healthy, medical professionals use the Bristol stool scale, which we've simplified here. An ideal stool is smooth, shaped kind of like a banana, and made up of about 70 to 80% water. But look at the dangerous types. If you're passing hard, rabbit-like pellets, it means waste is trapped in your gut, and your body is reabsorbing that dirty, toxic water straight back into your system. On the flip side, formless liquid diarrhea means your gut lining is inflamed, flushing away precious vital nutrients before they can even be absorbed.
And when that lining gets inflamed, we encounter something called leaky gut syndrome. What's really interesting about this is how your gut normally has this really strict border control, cells glued together tightly, called tight junctions. But chronic constipation or diarrhea actually loosens these junctions. The consequence is severe, guys. Toxins and undigested food leak right through these gaps and directly into your bloodstream. This triggers microinflammation all over your body, which studies show ages your blood vessels more than twice as fast.
Okay, it gets a bit more intense. Just imagine leaving food out in a sealed room with a completely broken AC during the peak of summer. That room is 37 degrees Celsius, which happens to be the exact temperature of your gut. When you're constipated, you are literally trapping rotting proteins inside this hot, unventilated 9-meter tube for 48 hours or more. The bad bacteria feast on this, producing highly toxic gases called indole and scatol. And these gases don't just smell bad, they dissolve into your blood and attack your cells system-wide.
And the damage actually reaches all the way to the top. This number right here, 3, represents years. Chronic constipation actually accelerates cognitive decline by the equivalent of 3 extra years of aging. No way, right? But it makes sense, because instead of pristine nutrients, your brain is being fed a constant supply of dirty, toxic blood from that 37-degree closed room.
It's also a huge matter for heart health. Research shows that having a bowel movement 3 times a week or less increases your risk of death from cardiovascular disease by 1.4 times compared to those who go daily. To put that into perspective, this isn't just about discomfort anymore, it's a life-threatening internal environment.
Okay, let's take a quick breather with some fun history to lighten the mood. If you've ever had Japanese barbecue, yakiniku, you might have seen hormone, which is beef offal or intestines. Did you know the name likely comes from the Kansai dialect word horumu, which literally translates to things to throw away. Back in the day, people used to literally throw the intestines out, but today, it's a beloved, nutrient-rich dish. I bring this up because it proves a powerful point. The gut is an incredibly tough, hardworking, resilient organ. Even if you've treated it terribly, if you stop treating it like something to throw away, it will absolutely bounce back.
Section 3. Physical approaches. Gentle gut stimulation.
For our older viewers especially, intense exercise can actually be pretty tough on your joints and heart. What your gut desperately needs instead is gentle, targeted stimulation. So tomorrow morning, try this simple routine before you even get out of bed. Just lie on your stomach for 10 minutes. Place a soft cushion or maybe a rolled towel right under your belly button. Then slowly roll your body about 30 degrees side to side for just 30 seconds. Think of your colon like an old, bent water pipe underneath your ribs. Waste and gas easily get stuck in those sharp corners. This gentle physical roll uses your own body weight to literally squeeze that trapped waste out, just like squeezing the absolute last bit of toothpaste from a tube.
Next up, we use breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds and expand your belly. Hold it for 2 seconds. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds, letting your belly fall flat. And this brilliantly illustrates how the body works. Just 3 minutes of this deep diaphragmatic breathing flips your autonomic nervous system switch directly into parasympathetic mode, which is your rest and digest state. The physical movement of your diaphragm also naturally massages your gut right from the inside.
All right, Section 4, dietary resets. How to feed the gut correctly.
So the data shows our daily fiber target is right around 20 grams, but the average person is missing exactly 6 grams. And honestly, those 6 grams are the difference between youth and rapid internal aging. But it's not just about eating more fiber to fill that gap. It's all about the ratio. You need a 2-to-1 golden ratio. 2 parts insoluble fiber, found in mushrooms and beans, which acts like a stiff scrubbing brush sweeping the gut, and 1 part soluble fiber, found in seaweed and certain grains, which acts as a hydrating sponge, pulling water in to soften things up. The biggest mistake people make is eating giant raw salads, which is mostly that insoluble scrub brush fiber, without enough water or soluble fiber. That actually clogs the pipes and worsens constipation. To hit that soluble fiber goal, let me introduce you to the absolute magic of mochi mugi, or sticky barley. If you mix your daily rice in a 7-to-3 ratio of white rice to barley, something amazing happens. The bacteria in your gut ferment this barley into short-chain fatty acids. This is literally premium gasoline for your gut. It repairs the intestinal walls and powers your cells. Even better, if you let this barley rice mixture cool down, say by making rice balls for lunch, it creates resistant starch. This survives all the way to the deep colon, perfectly feeding the good bacteria while preventing those nasty blood sugar spikes.
And if you want the absolute ultimate hack, here is the symbiotic super combo: natto mixed with raw onion. Natto contains incredibly tough probiotics that survive stomach acid. But to make them really thrive, you need to feed them prebiotics, like the oligosaccharides in raw onion. The trick? Finely chop the raw onion and leave it exposed to the air for 5 to 10 minutes instead of soaking it in water, which just washes the nutrients away. Mix it into your natto, and you boost the colonization of good bacteria in your gut by a massive 1.4 times.
Moving to our final section, Section 5, Consistency Changes. Healing takes time. Let's move to and see how this builds over a 3-month period. Because your gut didn't break overnight, and it definitely won't heal overnight. Do not rush, and whatever you do, do not eat massive amounts of these foods all at once, or you'll just cause bloating. Instead, if you stay consistent, in weeks 1 to 2, you'll feel a noticeable reduction in belly bloating. By weeks 3 and 4, your stool rhythm stabilizes, and that horrible feeling of incomplete evacuation fades. Hitting weeks 5 through 8, you'll actually start seeing visible improvements in your skin's glow, and waking up in the morning gets so much easier. And by weeks 9 through 12, that lingering chronic fatigue lifts and your mood stabilizes. This proves that your body isn't broken, guys. It was just waiting for the right tools to heal itself.
So what does this all mean? We come back to the core question of this explainer. Will you continue stressing over the mirror, or will you start checking the toilet to really reclaim your health? You can start right now. Tomorrow morning, try that 10-minute prone roll. Swap out just a bit of your rice for barley. You have the power to stop this silent aging and regain your youth from the absolute foundation of your body, from the inside out.
Just a quick, warm reminder as we wrap up, while this explainer is deeply grounded in published scientific research and general health data, it is not personal medical advice. Please make sure to always consult your physician or a medical professional regarding your specific condition, especially before making any major lifestyle changes. Thank you so much for joining me today, and hey, here's to building a healthier, younger you from the roots up.